You're okay. You know why? Because it's Friday nights, live improv from New York City. And we have a fabulous cast. We're going to play some games and do some scenes and have some fun. Hey, I want to say hello to the cast first. Hello to Sandi, and hello to Stephanie, and hello to Heidi.
Hi there.
Hi there. And I am your host, Scotty Watson. And now that we've met the cast, we're going to meet three other people. We're going to meet people, three of the members of three of the people who live in this wonderful place called Goon River. Yes, Goon River. Smallest of small towns. There's only three people in it. Oh, but before we introduce you to those lovely people, what's a big event, a big decision in the life of a small town? Something they have to decide upon.
There's going to be a big wedding.
Should they? That would be a lovely event. I guess the question is, should they allow big weddings in Goon River? That's the big question. You see, all the people of Goon River, they've always had small weddings because the people of Goon River have always been very modest. But this one particular time, the people of Goon River all got together and they were trying to decide if they were going to allow those big fancy city kind of weddings in their town. You know, the people of Goon River are good people, salt of the earth, but they're opinionated. So the three people were here, they are either going to be for or against the big wedding ban. I guess for or against big weddings. And nobody's going to be on the fence. So let's meet them now. Let's meet these lovely people of Goon River. And let's start with you, Autumn Sea Breeze. That doesn't sound like a real name. Is that a made-up name?
Why, no. I grew up in Savannah, Georgia. I'm a transplant to Goon River.
Sure.
And I grew up in the beauty of the Spanish moss trees of Savannah in Charleston. And now here I am in rural Goon River.
Well, it's all in how you say it. But seriously, Autumn Sea Breeze sounds like a made-up name. It sounds like a stripper name.
It's Autumn Sea, and my last name from my former husband was Breeze.
Oh, is it actually Autumn letter C Breeze, or is it
no,
Autumn
it's
C
Autumn
Breeze?
C. I was born in the fall.
Sure.
Other than my sister June, who was conceived in June.
There's a lot of people who were conceived on the dunes. Some of them under the boardwalk.
Yeah.
And
okay. C is because the sea
flowed.
Know.
It's a big piece of water. No, we know what the sea is. It just feels like a made-up name. I don't want to argue with you.
My mother was a debutante, and I have a debutante's name.
All right. Let's agree to disagree. And I want to know what you did in the town of Goon River.
Well, I am the event planner.
Oh, this could get very interesting. So are you for big weddings or against them?
I said I was a debutante. Of course I'm for big weddings.
You're for the big
parties, royal galas. We have got to become a destination place. It's the only way our population will grow. People need to say, oh my God, I want to live among this quaintness.
All right. Then I'm going to put you down in the survey as for big weddings.
Absolutely.
Big weddings. Sharon Pebble. This just feels like Autumn Sea Breeze. Sharon Pebble. Are you somehow connected to Autumn Sea Breeze?
Well, there's only three women in this town, so we're all connected in a way. I mean, come on.
Like a sisterhood, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So what did you do? Go ahead. You finish.
I'm the sheriff of the town.
Oh!
Yes. So I have my feelings about this wedding. Often when weddings are super large, that's lots of people coming in from other places.
Yep.
And they don't all follow the rules of that we abide by here in Goon River.
I
And
hear you.
so it's going to be a lot of work for me, and I want to enjoy weddings. I don't want to have to work hard. So I'm against it.
Yeah, when you mix general drunkenness with the sugar high from that cake,
Exactly.
I'm just saying. Hey, quick question: if things did get out of hand, how many cells do you have in your jail?
Well, that's another problem. We only have 2 cells. And so if it's a fight, they both go into a cell. And what if another fight breaks out?
Right.
Or what if, there's just too many problems?
You could put the cells in a petri dish, and maybe they'll divide, and you'll have 4 cells. That's a
That's a
biology
you're such
joke.
a funny man.
I tried too hard.
This is a serious issue here.
No, I understand. Are you issued? What kind of weapon do they issue you as a sheriff?
Well, I have a cap gun.
I think for Goon River, that's probably going to do it.
Yes, I just need to scare them out of their mischief.
Goon River, a town that is easily frightened. Good dynamite. Well, it's really nice to meet you, Sharon. And Astro Cryo, you sound like a disorder.
Wow, I am way more than a disorder.
Well, I don't mean to make fun of your name.
No,
I'm so
it's
sorry.
perfectly okay because me and Sharon Pebble are really kind of working in unison because I have the solution to her overpopulated jail cells.
Oh, let's hear it.
Well, we have freezers for the cryogenetics department of our store. And we need to test it out because we're not really sure at what temperature is the correct temperature to freeze someone where you can bring them back to life properly. We're still working on it.
I have a number of questions, and I think that we should start with, what's your store?
My store is called Freezers for Us.
And what do you do in Freezers for Us?
We freeze people that want to move on to the future. They want to, they're not their lives. It's like psychology. It's a new way of improving your mental health by freezing yourself in that moment in time and unfreezing yourself.
Reanimate, I think, is the word. So
Melting.
But melting or defrosting is, I think, all the words that you might want.
That's so not appropriate. It's so not.
Defrosting is not appropriate?
It's not defrosting. That's not, you don't defrost people.
Well, hang on a second.
Restore them to their proper mental health.
Hang on a second. You were just saying you wanted to take people that Sheriff Pebble arrests and put them in the freezers to see what temperature you should freeze them at in order for them to, I guess, survive.
Criminals are not treated the same as the everyday person. They're criminals. We have to test on humans. That's the way it goes. I'm not going to test on animals. We test on humans.
What? Well, first thing, just because the sheriff is throwing them in jail that's pre-trial. They're not criminals yet. They're just like, I just got thrown in jail. And second, yeah, animals first.
No. Animals have done nothing wrong. Criminals have done criminal activities to be thrown in jail. And so they're gonna donate their bodies to science. It's Goon River.
But Oatly, then what did the pig do? Because I have half a pig in bacon in my freezer right now.
Well, maybe you're going to be thrown in Sharon Pebble's jail.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to.
Criminal to be eating a pig.
I'm gonna have to check out the bylaws. So, were you for or against Astro Cryo, which also sounds like a made-up name? Were you for or against the big wedding? Having big weddings in town. You're for big weddings.
Come to the town, the more people Sharon Pebble can arrest, and the more people we can test.
Wow. All right. Okay. Then I just want to let you know that I've tallied the results and the town has decided to allow big weddings. And so now I want to fast forward you to the day before the very first big wedding. Oh, the biggest wedding this town has ever seen was going to happen on a Saturday. Well, I want to ask you what you were up to on the Friday night before the big wedding. And I want to start with you, Autumn Seabreeze. You were for the big weddings. So what were you doing?
The event planner, I was coordinating all the trucks that had the 18-wheelers came in.
Whoa, 18-wheelers. 18-wheelers. How big was this wedding?
This wedding was huge. And as a small town, we didn't have the event infrastructure. So I had tables shipped in and chairs. We had a stage for the band. We had a nice tiki bar brought in. That was her theme, tiki.
Wow.
This was a destination. We were turning Goon River into a resort, Hawaiian resort.
Okay. I find it very interesting that you had to import tables and chairs, because what kind of town doesn't have those? But did you see anybody? Did you see any of the maybe somebody in this room?
I did. I saw Sheriff Sharon. Sheriff Sharon was just strutting around. You can't park there. You can't park there. This is not an unloading zone. This is a loading zone. You need to get. I'm like, Sheriff Sharon. It's Sharon. It's already been passed.
All right. Well,
we're having this
wedding. Still does feel a little bit like Sharon Pebble's job to tell people where they can park. But let's go over to her and chat with Sharon. Sharon, Autumn Seabreeze, made up name, saw you outside of the big wedding the night before. She said you were being very officious. To me, feels like you were doing your job, but she felt like you were being a little pushy. How about you? What were you doing?
Well, that's exactly right. I was doing my job. The town was being overwhelmed. I'm telling you, the town could not handle this big giant. I think it was 1,000-person wedding. It was absurd. And there just wasn't space for all of this. And I had to, even though supposedly Autumn is the event coordinator, it was beyond what she could handle. So I had to step in and start organizing the parking, the deliveries, we had to be prepared for 1,000 people.
Wow. This is starting to sound like the fire festival here. Sounds like disaster. Let me ask you a question. I don't mean you to rat people out, but you are the police. Did you happen to see Astro Cryo kicking around on Friday, the night before the wedding?
Yes, I did. I saw her. She was, I think she was setting traps for people. I think she was trying to get people in trouble before they even arrived.
Let's go talk to her. Astro, I don't know if you know this. You're under suspicion from Sheriff Sharon Pepple. Oh, that's hard to say. Sharon. She said you were setting traps the night before the wedding? Oh, you're muted before you start talking.
Oh, I would never. But if you want to know Autumn Seabreeze's real name,
I do.
Adriana Sue's Brothel. You know how I know that? Because Astro stands for astral projection, where I can sleep and fly over and see what's going on in the town. So the dispute between Sheriff Sharon and the brothel queen, well, it was wonderful. It was fabulous because, I guess, truth be told, traps were being set for the good of society.
Sure.
Yes, for the better of the universe. So we can all have a better afterlife. So we can freeze ourselves and regain our mental health and restore it. So when we unfreeze, we are happier and healthier.
I hear you. I'm going to smile and back away without making eye contact, but it sounds good. It sounds great. All right. That was the day before. And now I want to take you to the unfortunate events that happened on the day of the wedding. The wedding was called for 10 a.m. People showed up and, well, it was pretty bad. And I want to start with you, Autumn Seabreeze, being the event planner. You were the first person on the scene. What happened to you?
Well, I was. Everything. The stage was set. The tents were up. The tables were set. The buffet, the bar, the people trickled in. It was wonderful. Unbeknownst, Astro set her traps
Oh, yeah.
right by the dance floor in little pods. And I'm sure you may be wondering what happened to the men in this town. Well, Astro's frozen them. So
Mensicles.
yes, I wanted to be sure that we could meet some nice, desirable men as well at this 1,000-person wedding.
Right.
And I walked out on the dance floor to welcome everybody. I had the microphone in my hand.
Oh, dear.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Just enjoy yourselves, listen to the music, have some food. And as I took a step forward, I fell into a freezer and it sealed around me. And it was one of the coldest ones. And just like that, I was frozen dead.
Sounds like the carbonite scene from Empire Strikes Back. That is sad. I'm sorry that happened. But maybe Astro knows the way to, it's not called defrost, reanimate you. So we'll check on her in just a second. Now, I believe that when Autumn Seabreeze fell into the trap and was frozen, there was a huge scream. And of course, the first person on the scene, first responder, Sheriff Sharon Pebble. I said it that time. What happened to you, Sheriff Sharon Pebble? Because I understand something unfortunate happened.
Well, of course, I watched Astro set those traps, but I couldn't keep track of them. They were all over the place.
Sure.
And I saw that Autumn had fallen into the freezer. So naturally, I had to go rescue her. And I went running toward her. Well, Astro, by the way, that's not really her name.
No, I didn't figure. What?
No.
Do you happen to know what it is?
Astrid.
Yes,
it's Astrid Kirby.
Astrid Kirby. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She didn't like her name.
It's Astrid Kirby.
And she changed it right away.
So what happened to you?
Well, she had placed these smoke bombs. I set one off. I couldn't see where I was going. My eyes started watering, and I just tumbled down into the river, and I drowned.
Wow. There should be a lesson in law enforcement there somewhere. I'm sure that there's somebody will learn something from that. Maybe several things. And finally, Astro Cryo. Now, I understand that you were the last person there because, of course, you'd caught a fly in your Venus flytrap. But what happened to you?
I mean, I didn't really mean for her to fall into the trap. So we weren't done perfecting the liquid that is going to be around you and kind of freeze you. It's kind of like that stuff where you kind of smack it when you get an injury and you put it on your knee and it's like cold, but it's not really cold. But we were just expecting strangers. So we weren't worried about them. We didn't really want Autumn to be in there, but she had to be on the microphone, and so she tripped and fell and whatever. So she was stuck in there, and I really felt bad. So I was going down to try to bust her out, but once you're in those things, that's it. It's done. So Streak and Peekaboo, I mean, Sharon Pebble, she was like all up in everybody's business and like trying to stop everything. And so I'm trying to get to Autumn to save her before Streak and Peekaboo found me. That's, let's call a spade, you know?
Streak and Peekaboo.
Yeah. And I actually got sucked in myself to one of the traps.
See?
I forgot where I placed one, and I stepped and I
hoisted on your own petard, or in this case, liquid nitrogen. This was a sad event in this town, and yet I feel like it was well deserved by all of you. This was one of the very few times I've come into the town of Goon River and thought, glad those people bought it. But I'm glad. First, I want to thank you so much for telling this sad story. I hope it didn't bring up too many bad memories. And I'd like to thank you for watching Improv, and I hope it didn't bring up too many bad memories. If you've lost loved ones to liquid nitrogen, just put it in the comments that we're insensitive bastards, and we'll cop to it right away. Stick around. There's going to be more improv coming at you in just a moment, so we'll be right back.